Hey, give me another quick second, man. Come on up, man. You know, it's the Sabbath day, so we out here to teach our people who we are according to the Bible. You ever wonder, you know, who are you? What happened to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans before slavery? Have you ever heard where we were, what we were doing before slavery? Or has it always been taught to you that so-called African American history starts off with slavery, right? You know that it didn't start off, but have you ever found out where it started from? All right, let me ask you this question. The color of Christ, what color is Christ? Okay, so where would you go if you wanted to find out the color of Christ? Where is Christ, where is he written at? In the Bible, right? He's written about in the Bible, right? So we're going to share that with you so you can have that undeniable evidence, the color of Christ. We're going to see, does Christ look like this gentleman right here? Or is this a better depiction of Christ? All right, so read that from the top.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
So this is the revelation or the revealing of Jesus Christ, all right? And he's going to show you what Christ looks like, all right? Read verse 14.
Verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool.
So the color of Christ's head and hair, the hairs on his head were white in color, woolly in texture. So based on the two images that we have here displayed before you, which one of the two has a depiction of someone with hair that's white in color and woolly in texture? The one on the far left, right? Your far left. All right, read on.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
So, Bro Tay, what color is brass? Like a bronze, a brown, right? His feet were like fine brass. Are not, if you took off your socks, would they not be the same complexion as the rest of your body? Yeah, right? So if Christ's feet were bronze, what about the rest of his body? The same thing, right? So we're going to show you how dark of a tone he was, how dark of a bronze he was. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So the feet were as fine brass as if they burn in a furnace. My sisters who just came out the store, come on over here. We're sharing what does Christ look like according to the Bible. All right, we read that his head and his hairs were white like wool. So my sisters, y'all step on up. We ain't gonna bite. We out here to teach and edify our people. All right, which of these two pictures has a depiction of someone who has hair that is white in color and woolly in texture? White, you know what, woolly? Yeah, which one of these? Yeah, the one on the far left, right? Same thing my brother Tay said, right? And then we also said that, or let me not say that we said it, the Bible said it. We're going to read it again. This color of his feet.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So his feet in color were like fine brass. What color is brass? Brown, right? Just like my brother Tay mentioned. And it was so dark it was as if they burned in the furnace. So Tay, if you put something in the furnace, what color is it going to be? What color is it going to turn out? It's going to be dark. Dark, black, right. You put metal in the fire, it's not going to turn to ashes, it's just going to get darker. All right? So if Christ's feet were bronze, the rest of his body was bronze. So why do we have the images that we have here? Because this is an image that is portrayed in the churches. It's an image that's portrayed in the movies, right? On the flyers, anything you get from a church or something like that. Why do they have that image there? They want you to think that Christ is white, but where are we reading from? We're reading straight out of the Bible, all right? And they also want you to think that Christ was all lovey-dovey, that he had a soft voice, right? So read on, continue on with the voice. Let's listen to the voice of Christ. Read.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
His voice was as the sound of many waters. Have y'all been by like the Minnehaha Falls? Is that a nice, soothing, quiet area? No. It's loud. When that water gets raging, that voice is loud. How do you think Christ was able to speak to the multitude? He wasn't up there speaking all soft like they try to portray him in pictures and stuff like that. No, he was coming out to teach and edify his people. All right, his people. So now let me ask you another question, Tay. Why is it important that we know the color of Christ? You absolutely right. You absolutely right. Because we are made in the image of Christ. All right. So now that I know Christ ain't no white man, now I can understand that Christ is a black man. Now when I see another black man, I'll be like, damn, that's God walking on earth. That's Christ-like right there. But the image they portray is they want you to be like the white man. They want you to do everything like the white man, all right? Even so, they've made for our sisters, right? I see y'all got natural, beautiful hair, all praises to the Most High. But what do they push on our sisters? Weaves, blondes, right? Let me get the description of the true Messiah, God, in Daniel 7 and 9. We're gonna show you what type of hair God's had. God type of hair. You got that? Daniel 7 and 9. Go ahead and read.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
The God's hair was like pure wool. My brother Tay, make sure you take that flyer and make sure you do some research, man, because this is information that we've never had. You never went to a church and they told you the color of Christ. But here, 5 minutes out on the street on 41st and Lindale, you getting the edification that you would never get in the church. Because if you go to the church and you ask them, what's the true color of Christ? What is a common response they're going to tell you? This right here. Or they're going to say, color don't matter. That's what they say. But Christ, he left a depiction to show unto his servants. All right. So if it's in the Bible, it got to be important. All right. And what's also important is that we know who we are. What would you say your nationality is? You're black? Okay. Now, get me Hebrews 7:14. We're going to see, so would you consider like Christ as being like a black man, right? African American, so on and so forth, right? That term African American actually stems from two white men. So before we were African American, they call us colored, Negroes, porch monkeys, slaves, all these other names. That term African American, look it up. It was created in the 1980s by Jesse Jackson. It made you feel as if though this was supposed to be your land as well. But when you get shot down by the police, is it still your land? When you are in the hoods and the ghettos, and everybody else is in the nice stores, nice areas, is it still your land? No. All right. Read what you got.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
So it's saying, the Bible's saying it's evident that Christ sprang out of Judah. Do you know what Judah is? Judah is one of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's actually the head tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel. So the so-called American blacks, we are from the tribe of Judah. All right? And now you may be asking yourself, why is it important? You've been calling yourself African American all these years, right? But we're going to show you why it's important that you understand that you are not African American, you're not black, you're not colored, but you're an Israelite according to the Bible. Give me Matthew 15:24 real quick, all right? Because if you're walking around here calling yourself African American, right, you're not acknowledging who God told you would be, all right? Read that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
You see, Christ was only sent to save the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's right.
He didn't come for the white people. He didn't come for the Indian people. He didn't come for the Arab people, the Chinese, the Japanese. He only came for the Israelites. Okay? All right. Now give me Psalms 82. All right, or 83 and verse 2. All right, we're going to show you the crafty counsel that the people who rule this earth have done in secret in order for us not to understand that we are the Israelites. Read on.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
So the enemies of Israel have made a tumult, meaning an angry gathering. They're so angry that we are the Israelites, that all the laws, statutes, and commandments, the promises pertain to us. Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They've taken crafty counsel against us. Why? Because as I made in that statement, I said so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans, right? They've taken crafty counsel to separate us in that manner, right? So now the blacks, you deal with the blacks. The Hispanics, you deal with the Hispanics. Native Americans, you deal with Native Americans. They've separated us and told us that we were different nations of people. But God calls us all one, the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, that's crafty counsel. All right, read on.
And consulted against thine hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
You heard that? It said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. How did they cut us off? They put us on slave ships. They shipped us, some of us to Central America, some of us to the Caribbean, some of us to North America, some to Canada, right? Some even around the world, all right? The Arabs had us in slavery as well, all right? So that's how they cut us off from being a people. Read on.
That the name Israel may be no more in remembrance.
They cut us off so the name of Israel may not be in remembrance any longer. So you walk around calling yourself an African American as two white men, Leo Scipius Africanus and Amerigos Vespucci. Those are two white men, but you're calling yourself after their heritage. All right, we got to stop that. So when you say American black, are you black? Is your skin black? Are your pants black? So how can you be black?
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.